Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your March 2020 Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website addressed below. And before we start, as always, I would like to bless all of my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's have a look, see, right, what's different, what has changed. I have added something else, there's something new as well. So you guys know me, I want to keep it fresh, I want to keep it moving, and I'm starting to find the way that things are going to be now for a good long while. So let me know what you think, let me know if you love it or loathe it. With that said, your March 2020 Taroscope now has your full moon and new moon astrology, just like you asked for, so let me know. With that said, let's go straight into it. Your full moon in Virgo on the 9th of March this year is taking place in your 10th house, Sagittarius. This is all about how you show up in the world, how people view you in the world. Yes, it can be about your career and your profession, but it's how you move through the world and find acclaim, find fame, find esteem, how it is that you're seen by other people out in the world. It's you in your most visible sense. It's you in your most visible, your most visible sector, let's see. So your career is being lit up. I've got my trusty notes here. Your career is being lit up, and it's asking you as well, what do you feel like your destiny is, right? A full moon is a completion or a culmination. So, and I see these full moons, new moons, and eclipses. It's like the universe gives you a toolbox and says, right, now you've got that. Whenever things come up over the next however long, in regards to these things, use whatever the toolbox is, is in the toolbox that's been given to you. So maybe you're starting to see what it feels like for you. What is your destiny? What do you feel like you should be doing? You could be getting a glimpse into this. Maybe you're starting to understand what is right for you, and with the spotlight on your career and your worldly status, you could be getting a glimpse of a completing theme. The full moon is a culmination, and a powerful one at that. And it sees you wanting and needing to understand what is right for you now, and where it is that you can adjust this, right? How it is that you can move forward from here. So this moon is in a stressful angus to Venus and Uranus, because they're conjunct at the moment in Taurus. And this could be your daily routines are coming under scrutiny. Maybe you're considering that in order to make a certain move, something that you're used to, something that that is being done in a current way now needs to change. The way that you do something on a daily basis, the way that you do your work, maybe the job itself is changing. Maybe the job itself is, maybe one aspect of your career is completing now and you're moving on to a different one. As well, Venus is smoothing off the edges in your 6th, but it may mean that your health starts to come into focus. Maybe you've been working really hard for a long time, and now you're starting to say to yourself, right, you know what, I feel like my health may have taken a back seat to this. I need to slow it down. I need to change my routines. I need to factor in more free time or more ease time for myself. It could also be that your work yields some unexpected blessing that may create more work. And it might see you needing to, especially if you've got your own business, you could see here that things skyrocket for you, and then you say to yourself, right, okay, this is great, it's wonderful, it's a gorgeous blessing, but I now understand that I'm not going to be able to continue doing all of this on my own. I need some support or some help, or maybe I need to outsource. So this moon is gorgeous because it's trining your 2nd house, trining Mars in your 2nd house. It makes you proactive and go-getting when it comes to money. It could see you really pushing for the kind of financial rewards that you deserve, or the financial rewards that you would like to see. This moon is also trine Jupiter. It's offering you an expansive and growthful opportunity when it comes to money. It asks you to really get into gear of your manifesting abilities. So this could be a time where you're really manifesting good opportunities that could bring you more finances, that bring you more more money. It could be where you're really manifesting your tushy off, basically. And, you know, usually trine energy is quite lazy, because it's so harmonious. Everyone's like, oh yeah, I'm sure it will just naturally work out. Virgo is a sign that demands that we do the work, right? Because it rules the 6th house. It's about maintenance. So this opportunity that's coming in, you could see it there and say to yourself, right, okay, that's great, but it's not going to be anything without my input. So you could be really proactive about making things happen. Especially when it comes to your finances, when it comes to money. Trine Pluto, this could see you asking yourself how your career reflects on you, right? And this is a big thing, you know, and nowadays we live in that the world, you know, we've all heard that saying, people ask you what you do so they can judge the amount of respect that they feel you're worth. This could be you sort of circumventing that and saying, right, how does my current career and work situation reflect on me? How does my current, you know, earning potential, my money, my materials, how do those things reflect on me? And ultimately, am I happy with that? And if not, what am I going to do about it? It could see you being really proactive about this and saying, look, you know what, this is where I feel like I'm undervalued, you know? Finally, this is in square to Saturn in your, so the square between your 2nd and 6th, because it is a square to Saturn, there's an opportunity to understand what the limits of your job or your daily routine are, and see you starting to drill down on the changes that you need to make in the long term so that you can have the kind of results that you want. Either way, money, materials and health are being highlighted here, and those effects that influence your career are being highlighted. So, I mean, this can be a really great energy for you. It really can. It can be, you know, if you use it in the right way, it could be phenomenal. It really could. It's just about being focused and really sort of showing up. So your new moon over here on the complete opposite end on the 23rd of March is in Aries, right? So a new moon is where you start things, where you sow seeds, where new things might make this their way into your life or a presence. Now, remember that no astrology is just an event. Very rarely it's a process and an energy that unfolds over time. So your new moon is in your 5th house. This could be the start of a creative project. It could be you being creative about these changes that this full moon highlighted that you wanted to make, you know, in response to those things. It could see you really getting very proactive about understanding, where do I need more freedom? Where do I need more fun? Where do I need more spontaneity? Now, this new moon is trying your own sign because it's a sister or brother fire sign, whichever you like to call it. You know, so it's an energy that you're kind of used to. It's a dynamic energy that you can use. Now, so what's it gonna be for you, Sagittarius? Are you ready to start enjoying more of your life or be more creative? Remember, this is in Aries, so it wants some kind of physical outlet, a physical, you know, this could be a great time for a hobby, for trying something new. It could be a great time for, you know, increasing or certainly overhauling the sex life or having, you know, fun in that respect. It is conjunct, so this new moon is conjunct Chiron at the moment as well, because Chiron's at 5 degrees, the sun and the moon are at 4. So they're like in a tight sort of cluster. It could be a sensitive moon for you with or around your own children if you have them, or you as somebody's child. It could be a time where you're, you know, really considering sort of, where have these things been a bit tumultuous? Where have things been a bit rocky? They might highlight some issues that you've had as well, you know, and it could make you very proactive about, right, how do I fix this? How do I start to welcome in a better experience than the one I've currently have? So as it is square to both the nodes as well, so the North Node in Cancer is in your 8th, could see you trying to welcome in new ways of financial freedom and stability. It could also see you examining where you've been a bit rigid in the area of sex and sensuality, because it's like this whole sort of 5th, 8th house tension. So you could be saying to yourself, okay, you know what? Yeah, maybe the sex life has taken a backseat, or maybe my fun and enjoyment just hasn't been there because I've had other sort of more intense things to deal with of late. And it could see you saying to yourself, right, I'm going to make more of an effort with that. Square to the South Node in Capricorn in your second house may see you considering how you enjoy yourself, but stop counting the cost, you know, to stop sort of, oh no, I can't do that because it costs too much, or oh no, I can't do that because it costs too much. Don't get me wrong, you know, we all have to mind the pennies and the pounds, but if you're constantly censoring or editing what you can do based on the price, you're not living, right? Quite frankly, you know, Sagittarius wants freedom, spontaneity. You're half a horse, for crying out loud. You know, you're a centaur. You need that sort of expansive, out there freedom to roam the world in some way, shape or form. And new experiences is one of the ways that we can do that. So consider that. You will need to consider this, but it does suggest you could even find ways or opportunities to enjoy yourself on a budget, right? So maybe you say to yourself, okay, I don't have unlimited funds or resources, but it's important for me to enjoy myself. This is the amount that I'm going to allow myself each week, each month, each fortnight to enjoy my life, to have fun, right? And it's really important that you factor this in, especially round or off the back of this new moon. Venus in your 6th house is trying all of the big planets, you know, I'm not saying the big planets, you know what I mean. Mars, Jupiter and Pluto, and this is creating a gorgeous boost to the income and the finances. It could see you get some sort of a cash injection that really assists in this pursuit of a more pleasurable experience. So lots of great stuff there. It really is, all of this stuff is about how you use it, right? That's what it comes down to. So let's have a look at your cards for the month ahead. Ooh. For your actions and interactions with the world at large this month, you get the 8 of Pentacles. So you really are drilling down on the work, right? On looking at the job, maybe the daily level of what you do, but also with your 8 of Pentacles, this is about your work. It's about what you do, but it's also about the skills that you have and how you use them. Are there talents that you have that are latent, that haven't been used in a while? Is it time to brush the dust off of the old whatever it is that you have, you know? This really feels like this month you should be getting dynamic about welcoming in skills that you already have and really focusing on where you go from here in your work and how your work is. You know, we work so that we can enjoy and enhance our lives. We don't live to work, right? We work so that we can live, not so that, you know, it shouldn't be the other way around. You could really be addressing the balance of this month. And, you know, because it is the 8 of Pentacles, you might be asking yourself, where is it that I've given my power away when it comes to work? Where is it that I'm now ready to take that back and say, right, okay, you know what, I understand that I have to do this. I understand that I have to be present, that I have to earn my keep, whatever. But I'm not prepared for that to keep encroaching on other aspects or areas of my life, which is, you know, this is a good place to be. It's a good place to be. Your money and materials. You've got the 8 of Wands, right? So this could be you really finding new ways of doing old things, finding old ways of doing new things, you know, really switching it up, finding your power to create and generate more finances. This could be you finding a mentor, maybe, and because it is right next to the 8 of Pentacles, this could be you going after a new course of study, looking to gain more skills, to gain more qualifications. You're all about increasing your money or your finances at this moment in time, and you're doing that through making yourself better. It's kind of like you're investing more in yourself. So you're saying to yourself, right, okay, rather than work harder or more, how can I work smarter and get more out of what I currently already have? How can I enhance the talents, the gifts and the skills that I've already got so that I can get the most out of those things? I like this. You know, you've got 2 8s there, which is all about power. It's all about your personal power. Where have you given it away? Where should you be taking it back? Your 9 of Cups in your communications. This is beautiful. Harmonious energy, but also good news that's coming to you. Your communications, what you're saying, how you're saying it, who's speaking to you, who's communicating with you. You've got really good news coming from a distance here. So this could come through an email, a text message, likely to be an actual email, but because it's got that 8 of Pentacles there as well. If you've applied for a course of study, if you've applied for some sort of resource, if you've applied for anything that you've applied for, you'll be getting a letter this month to say that you've been granted it or that you've been accepted. Your 9 of Cups is that wish fulfillment card. It's always that moment where you get the yes that you were hoping for, right? It's that moment where you get that good news, and because it's in your communications, I feel like whoever this person is, there's some sort of, because it's next to the 8 of Wands, this could be a mentor, it could be a teacher, it could be somebody that you look up to, somebody like that's a peer, somebody that's you know, yeah, a mentor is one way of putting it, but there's a coach. It could be a coach of some sort as well. Whoever it is, they're giving you really great news. It's like you've got the go ahead on something. And with your 9 of Cups, because it is wish fulfillment, this is the absolute yes that you've been waiting for. And I love it. Communications are going to be great this month. You're really in your element, able to really communicate very well this month. So use it to your advantage. Your personal relationships in your heart and half, you have the Lovers card, or the Lord and Lady in this deck, right? This is about harmonious connections. For those of you that are single, this is right next to the 9 of Cups. If you're single and you've been looking for a while and you've been thinking, you know what, there just doesn't seem to be anyone that gets me, or even, you know, or maybe you've been, for a select few of you, you've been in a situation where you were waiting for somebody to choose you, where you were waiting for somebody to come forward and say, look, you know what, I'm now ready to give it a shot or give it a go. If that is the case, you'll be getting that news this month. For those of you that are partnered, this is gorgeous, because it really does suggest harmonious energy. It really does suggest support of each other, but also for your relationship. This is about people finally getting out of your way and saying, you know what, yeah, let's just be there for them. But either way, love looks really, really good this month. So for your weeks of the month, let's have a look, see what we've got here. For your first week of the month, you've got the Fool card. So something is definitely shaking up in the workplace. There's definitely you looking and seeking to make a new start. This could be something that happens at work that prompts you to do something different, or prompts you to make a different choice, or even take a different path. For some of you, I feel like you're about to either diversify or specialize in your career. This is what this whole, you know, energy of the Fool and the new moons is talking about for me. I've been astounded with some of these, of how much the tarot has mirrored the astrology and vice versa. It's crazy, but brilliant as well. With this Fool card here for the first week of the month, it does look like for some of you, you'll be diversifying the career. How can I make this bigger or broader? How can I, you know, add another string to my bow? For some of you, this is about honing and specializing what you do. And this will be off the back of somebody noticing your talent. Now, what you do need to consider here, though, is that the workload may increase now so that it can decrease later on. But that's the ultimate goal. All right, your second week of the month, you've got the Emperor card, getting very proactive, almost sort of authoritative when it comes to the finances. This falls underneath the 8 of Wands. This is study, right? Your Emperor card represents institutions. It can be colleges, you know, course providers, schools, universities, all that sort of stuff. And it falls underneath the 8 of Wands. All of you in some way, shape or form are finding yourselves going back into the learning seat in some way, you know, studying something new, gaining a different qualification or a new qualification that enables you to either diversify or specialize. Love this energy for you, because it does mean that the finances that you need are there. If you're applying for loans or scholarships, again, the energy is definitely there. Do consider that we have a Mercury retrograde this month. Don't stop living because of it. Just be sure to check the fine print. And if something isn't right, flag it up immediately so that you don't have to deal with it at a later date. All right, for your third week of the month, you've got the Death card underneath the 9 of Cups. This is the end of some sort of hardship. And I feel like something that you've been waiting for, something that you'd actually let go of, For a lot of you, this feels like something that you might have already said, you know what, I don't think this is ever going to happen. Maybe it's not there for me. Maybe it's not meant to be. It might be something that you've actually forgotten about for a long time. And it might be something that you had perceived to be sort of dead in the water. And you're like, okay, it is what it is. And now here in March, it gets that sort of second breath of life and comes through. Now look at this, is really interesting. The Death card is number 13. 1 and 3 gives you 4. And then right next to it, you've got the Emperor. So these two are kind of opposites of the same whole, which is really interesting because in the ancient astrology, both Aries, the Emperor, and Scorpio, the Death card, were ruled by Mars. So really interesting interplay of energies here. And look, you've got these double 8s here, which does suggest to me that there's, you know, this could be a really great month for you, especially of getting and gaining your power back, but also really starting to drill down on what's actually important to you and where you see yourself going. And then finally, your 4th week of the month, you've got the Strength card. Your heart is going to be smiling this month, Sagittarius. For those of you that are single, this is somebody really is choosing you. You know, whether that's over another person, whether it's in a tough situation, whether it's, you know, between family and this, whether it's between, you know, whatever it is, in some way, shape or form. For those of you that are single, that have been in situations like that, this month you are chosen. You're the chosen one by your, you know, this person that you'd like to be your significant other. For those of you that are partnered, this is you guys really coming from the same place. It's about you finding that energy to say, look, you know what, here's how we belong together and here's what we can do together, providing we're on the same page. It does see you both sort of learning to school your emotions. Could see you really proactive about that this month as well. And then finally, your key to the month. You've got the Chariot card. Victory, success, you winning out, you coming out on top in some way, shape or form, you getting and gaining the news that you want. But ultimately, this is about you getting ahead in some way, shape or form, Sagittarius. You're really taking a step forward and a level up. In many ways this month as well, you could find that you really are just kind of saying to yourself, wow, you know what? I'm winning. I'm, you know, no matter what the fight has been up until this point, I am winning. This is a beautiful energy for you. Let me know how this takes, you know, shapes up. Let me know in the comments how, you know, how you feel about it. Do you love it? Do you loathe it? I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Take care, and I'll see you soon.